This is Al Jazeera. These are the top stories. The opening ceremony for the 19th Asian Games is underway in the Chinese city of Hangzhou. This is China's first big sporting event since the end of its strict zero-COVID policy. They're being billed as the Green Asian Games with no ceremonial fireworks. Russia says there's been another attack on its Black Sea port of Sevastopol in Crimea. It comes a day after Ukrainian missiles targeted the headquarters of the Russian Black Sea Fleet in the city. The head of Ukraine's intelligence says at least 9 people have been killed in the attack. Pope Francis has urged European countries to overcome what he calls a paralysis of fear about migrants. He greeted French President Emmanuel Macron in Marseille on the final day of his 2-day visit. The head of Sudan's ruling council says the conflict in his country could spread into other parts of the region. Abdel Fattah al-Burhan says he's asked neighbouring states to stop supporting the rival rapid support forces. There have been protests in Armenia over the government's handling of the recent crisis in Nagorno-Karabakh. Hundreds have called for the Prime Minister's resignation. Canada has announced another $483 million in aid to Ukraine. Ottawa will also provide training to Ukrainian pilots on F-16 fighter jets. The announcement came as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited the Canadian capital. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his government's on the verge of making a deal to normalize relations with Saudi Arabia. He spoke at the UN on Friday, saying Palestinians would benefit from such agreements. Israeli forces have opened fire on Palestinian protesters at the Gaza border, injuring at least 31 people. The demonstrations began after Israel closed a border crossing, and people have also been demanding an end to attacks by Israeli settlers. Libya's internationally recognized government says 245 bodies have been recovered in a single day in the flood-devastated city of Derna. The bodies were found on Thursday along the coastline. U.S. Senator Bob Menendez has temporarily stepped down as chair of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations. It comes after he and his wife were accused of accepting bribes and trying to influence foreign policy to benefit Egypt.